G'day, g'day, g'day.
Yo.
I'm here with Isaiah Morris, and we're having a bit of a therapy session. Um, hey, you might want to move that mic just a little bit closer, just rotate it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Do it.
yeah. So Isaiah, you're Isaiah Morris, is that correct?
That's correct. Zane Morris.
Yeah, Isaiah Morris, and I'd actually probably know the least about you. Um, I know that you do visuals,
Yeah.
but do you do more than that?
Yeah, I do visuals. I manage a couple artists. 3K is like a hip hop act, and then run an event called New Kids every Wednesday at Boney. Yeah, a couple different things these days, so it's cool.
Right, I didn't know you're into management as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So you're an organised man.
somewhat. Yeah.
Do you feel like that, as a manager, do you feel like it regards more roles for booking?
Yeah, I guess I try and do a mix of things. It's like bookings, design, like marketing. Yeah, but bookings is a key one. That's kind of how an artist makes money for a majority of it. So yeah,
Yeah, I feel like management goes up in levels. It starts off as just the booker,
yeah,
and then all the other stuff you've said. You don't feel like that's like too many jobs
yeah,
at once, do you?
yeah. No, I guess I try and separate my days. So it's like
Mm.
mornings normally admin, and then
Uh-huh.
middle of the day is more management and kind of the planning for things and my own things, and then the end of it's like just making a whole lot of stuff. So yeah,
That's good. Yeah, from just methodical to creative. Is
Yeah.
your strategy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's calm, it's chill. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's good.
Then but you're clearly involved in music quite a lot. Um, what's your general take of music? Why are you so attracted to the music that 3K make?
I guess with 3K, it's just they are kind of from an Australian end making something that sounds a bit different in terms of like it blends that American style that I guess the world really likes, but it's got a nice comedic edge to it.
Mm.
So you're not left just the whole time moshing, you're kind of laughing as well, which I think is pretty unique for an artist to have that ability to kind of flip between them so effortlessly. So yeah, that's my favorite thing about them.
For you just mean the ability for expression? Is that what you're really going?
Yeah, yeah, and they're not really like they're not putting it on. They're just that's who they are, and
Totally.
they're just a funny group to hang around. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Well then, so it's less about the style of music for you. It's more just about the way they want to represent themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they're like some of them have been my best friends for like 2-3 years. So
Mm.
we've known each other for ages now, and
Mm.
kind of just made sense to help them out
Yeah.
with management now and kind of try and take them to that next level. So yeah.
I don't think there's an actual answer to this question, but in your opinion, which genre of music is the most expressive?
Ooh, I don't even know. It's hard. I think you're definitely right. Might be no answer, but I guess it's kind of how you're feeling. Like sad music, I listen to like slow rock sort of vibe, and then I just like really want to get a whole lot of work done. It's like drum and bass and like techno and that if I'm angry.
What if what if some of this music you're listening to doesn't have a face, an image, way to represent itself? Is it less desirable to you?
No, I don't think so. Like I think with Spotify and SoundCloud and that, you are just hearing a song, whether it's in a playlist or it's one you've already got in your own playlist. It's from that end, it's not very visual. I think for a live show, definitely that's when the visuals start to come to life, and it really is like an artist's aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
coming to life, and that plays a lot more. But online, I think you're definitely not in that constraint. Yeah.
When Do you feel like your like working relationship with people? Do you feel like it happens most commonly with your projection work?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I got started in, like, I guess the Melbourne scene at least. And that's kind of why I listen to so much different music, because one week I will be with a rock band, the other week I am at like a techno club or something, you know? It's every week I never know what I'm going to be immersed in and what kind of culture.
Because your projection is just meant to be a reflection of them.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm not particularly exclusive to what I create, and that I'm there to reflect the artist that's on stage, so
Mm-hmm.
I try and not have that bias.
What would be a really lazy way to reflect an artist?
Just get their Facebook image and stick it on.
Yeah.
Could be a vibe, I don't know.
Yeah, the slideshow of all the previous ones.
Yeah, just play their music video on repeat.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always amazed at Reese Newling was telling me that he was doing projections for Sampa, great, and they had to have a rehearsal for the projections and the whole like stage show.
Yeah.
Do you do that very often?
Yeah, like a lot of the artists that I am working with more long term, it is more like we will have a production rehearsal, the lighting guys there, sound guys there, and we can kind of develop a show that can be used for touring, can be used for like Howler or like Max Watson. That it's definitely a lot more refined. It allows us to get into the nitty gritty of it. So, yeah.
Because I find it interesting, like, there are some projection artists which don't feel like they need to use a program to run projections. Maybe that's just a video that they've made very well beforehand.
Yeah.
And then there's some which want to use programs like Resolume, and is there any other one like?
Yeah, I use VDMX and MadMapper.
Mm-hmm.
It's all pretty much the same thing at the end of the day, just looks different.
Like digital workstations.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can see like those programs, they need a lot more sort of rehearsal time with an artist, right?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to knowing the artist. Like, you can know the program, but if you don't know how an artist is on stage, or you don't know their set list, it's gonna make it a whole lot harder. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the stuff that can happen with those, with plugging audio into there, so it's a bit more responsive.
Yeah.
I'm also very interested in Max MSP. Have you heard of that before?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it in action before, but yeah, heard of it.
Yeah, it's way too complex for just wanting to pull off simple applications.
Yeah.
But you do see lots of people doing things which are more interactive in like gallery spaces with the program.
Yeah.
With like a webcam, so it does something particular based on like the velocity.
Yeah.
Have you done much stuff like that where it's not necessarily on a stage, it's an installation?
Yeah, that's kind of how I first started, like 3.5 years ago.
Right.
I started with more like making videos and then showing that in like a public space, and then I moved into like more with artists. But now I am trying to kind of go back and develop, I guess, like my personal artwork and like more of a body of work that is like from myself. So that's when it'll definitely incorporate more of that interactive element, and I don't know, I kind of like bringing things that people might not see and like not be aware of in their space, and highlighting those kind of little inconveniences sometimes, or whether it's just like a beautiful thing they haven't realized, kind of try and highlight that through light. So yeah,
I feel like there's a bit of a movement towards what might end up being called visual graffiti. Well, a piece is fucking visual graffiti. I mean like projection based stuff.
Yeah.
You see it happening in a communal, like friendly communal sense with Gertrude Street Projection Festival. But I feel like that's just the tip of it, because I've seen people like complaining about like VR installations in public places.
Yeah.
Do you have any comment on like sort of the future of that?
In terms of like guerrilla projections, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it will definitely happen. I think who's done it before? I think it was in like climate change like 2 years ago at White Night. They had like projected it over the state library, which was kind of like not good because it was like ruining an artist's work they'd developed, but I guess it can kind of also give some sort of insight into the future of it, and I think the legality side of it is interesting because you're not damaging a property, you're just pulling up and shining a projector on a building.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very interesting space in that. Yeah.
I guess they could sue in that particular case you mentioned though.
Yeah.
They're losing business because of another thing.
Exactly.
Maybe they are gaining business because it's a bold statement.
Exactly. It's a push shove.
That's a legal battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if like take this for a concept like outdoor daylight projection, but you're using the silhouettes of things to sort of bring up the contrast for your projection.
I think I understand. Yeah.
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 Is that like a thing? Would you do that?
I mean, I'm personally open to anything, like experimenting. I just don't like. I think it's hard in daylight because I don't think anything's brighter than the sun.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, you'd have to get some sort of shadow in there to bring it out, which I guess is the silhouettes. Projecting into silhouettes could be cool. Yeah.
Be a
like
bit
shadow.
interesting and random too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could use your Mad Mapper program.
Yeah.
Maybe get it to if it's like a tree that's casting a shadow.
Yeah.
Get it to map to the movement of the tree. Maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be so complicated.
Be really
cool.
Complex. Yeah, it'd be dope. It'd be a vibe.
Yeah, it'd be so cool. But maybe underappreciated.
Yeah.
Not many people would see that.
Yeah.
So outside of projection work, it seems like, you explained your day to me, but that's, surely you don't do that like 24/7. What's on? Is it 24/5 or is it 24/6?
I generally try and just sleep on a Sunday. But for the most part, like lately I've been working like 16, 17 hour days, like just because leading up to festival season again, all the artists that have just finished their tours and that, like they're wanting new content now, and like 3K's got a new single in the works, so it's a whole lot of different streams right now I'm trying to manage. Yeah. But yeah, it's probably 6 of the days I'm working, so yeah, it's cool.
What do you have any strategies for managing things when it's like just too hectic and maybe not possible to achieve the workload?
Yeah, I guess like on that regard, I try and be super communicative to like the client. Like sometimes if their budget allows it and I personally don't have enough time, I'll just push it off to someone else and get them to work on it, and then I can kind of just wrap it up for the client. But I don't know, I try and set expectations for them where it's like, I'm gonna need a couple weeks to make this what you want. I can't just snap my finger and it's gonna be done, so
yeah,
expectations I guess is a key one for me. Yeah.
Setting that stuff I feel benefits your reputation quite a lot too.
Yeah.
Whether you say it's gonna happen in 6 months or 6 weeks, as long as you achieve that within that time frame, like
yeah,
it's like easy.
Exactly.
Easy on everyone.
Yeah. As long as they're not unhappy at the end of it, and everyone's happy and they were good to deal with and I was good to deal with, I think that's a positive outcome. Yeah.
Do you ever eat apples in interviews?
Not particularly. Yeah, let's go.
I do, yeah. Yeah. You don't.
Yeah, no, I'm lame.
Oh well. I like to eat 2 apples. That's why I
Yeah,
brought 2. I
good.
noticed you didn't bring any apples.
Get them 5 vegetables and 5 fruit a day. Is that what it is? I don't even know.
No, just 2 apples a day for me.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
2 apples a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah. No, it's not. I feel like I just seem to. It's ruined my diet a little.
Yeah,
I'm feeling very lethargic.
yeah,
Not have the energy.
yeah. What's your normal diet?
Depends, like, if I'm moving about. If I'm out, if it's an outside sort of day, I'll have like 2 banh mi's. If it's, I'll go between here and Putzgrey, and there's 2 brilliant banh mi places.
Mm-hmm.
And then for dinner, I might have had leftovers in my bag the whole day, and I'll eat that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
You seem like you're a guy on the move quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, and you've only ever got that like fancy tote bag sort of thing. I don't imagine you have a lot of food in there. So what's your diet?
My diet's pretty whack. That's like a lot of coffee, and then I'll try and eat lunch. I don't know. Normally, like, I'm a big thing for pasta lately, so it's been a whole lot of pasta, which is probably because it's been cold. Just trying to be warm. And then dinner, I don't know. It's either like eat at my parents' house or I'll eat out. Like, I don't know, like ramen and that. I really dig ramen. That's been a big vibe this winter as well.
Do you find time to eat on a night like New Kids?
Yeah, I try and like eat before at like 7:38, then kind of come in, but sometimes I'll overeat and feel sick the whole night, which isn't particularly good when I'm trying to run an event
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah. I feel like that happens with McDonald's all the time.
Oh yeah,
You have just one little bit too much
Yeah.
that's in you. For
you
the
feel
whole
stank.
night. Yeah. So awful.
Yeah.
Would you say McDonald's is the worst fast food you can get?
I don't know. I feel like they're all pretty bad. I guess in terms of flavor, they're different. I like their hash browns. Sometimes I'll get them after New Kids, like hash browns and McBites,
Yeah.
because KFC is closed and I can't get their popcorn chicken. But yeah, they're all kind of horrible, I guess.
They really are.
Yeah.
At least there's 24/7 ramen.
Yeah,
after.
exactly.
Yeah, we should go sometime. That'd be good.
We should. Late night New Kids eat.
Yeah. We haven't spoken much about New Kids. Would you agree that it's mainly a communal based event?
Yeah, that's always the intention with most events, I would say. I think there's no point in running an event if you're not trying to build a community around it. So
Yeah. Yeah, you see that happen a lot with funnily enough, new kids who are new to the scene. And they think, I'm going to throw this massive first gig for my band, and I'm going to invite everyone I know.
Yeah.
Forgetting that they're part of a culture.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of always been the intention with it. It's like, that's why it's downstairs for the most part. You're not gonna pack out 1,000 cap room in your first gig unless it's like you've already got that establishment. So it's like trying to just build that community where it's beneficial for both of them, like both of them and us. So yeah.
The culture is I feel that the culture is more important to point out than the community.
Yeah.
It's got a larger umbrella, but can you shed any light on what the music culture is in Melbourne?
In terms of overall right now, or?
Well, there's many different cultures.
Yeah.
So you can't just say overall.
Of course, yeah. I think it's every culture is starting to pop. Like, you see the jazz scene doing like Sunny Side Up, which kind of put the jazz scene in Melbourne on the map a bit more, with like 3070 and Hiatus, and then you've got like the more like trap and hip hop end with like Remy and that, and like Sampa now, like they're kind of going international. I think that the different cultures have kind of all in their swing of it, and you know, we have those that are a little bit down the track that everyone's kind of being influenced by and like really is inspired by, and then you do have the smaller acts and you do have the more underground that are still figuring out their sound. And
what I think is really wholesome about it is no one's afraid to admit who their idol is in Melbourne.
Yeah, it's super positive. It's like, why can't you have an idol in Melbourne?
Yeah, no, I feel like sometimes people may be a bit embarrassed or might feel that it could be taken like they're trying to copy someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's people are proud to have these people as their mentors and idols.
100%. I think even if this was in LA, it's like, because you live in LA, you're not gonna say like, I don't know, like Cardi B is your like idol or something. I don't know, like just because we're maybe a bit smaller in population here, it doesn't detract from the fact that we can have idols in our own backyard. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's fantastic how I feel like, although, you know, maybe it's just because we're living in it now, but I feel like it's slightly different to the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And that the sort of relationship between ourselves and who our idols are in the scene has just gotten smaller and smaller. And I think that's the same on a whole for everyone.
Yeah.
No, it's because we've, you know, spent more and more time in the scene.
Yeah. No, I think especially with like social media and that now, it's so easy to just add your idol on friend, like on Facebook.
Yeah.
And now you can just like hit them up and be like, yo, what do you think of my new track? And it's, you're both from Melbourne and you're both just trying to make dope music. It's
easy to book a show with them too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's definitely not out of the question.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's important to have that community and that tight-knit culture. It's definitely a positive thing for Melbourne. Yeah.
What about your idols? Is it varied, like between what their practicing medium is?
Yeah, I think especially these last like 12 months, as I've kind of then taken on new kids and management, it's not so much my idols being in like the projection, like the light world. I definitely still do have them, but it is now like the operatives, and like they're kind of helping me out a whole lot in like sort of mentoring, and there's a lot more facets now of the Melbourne scene that I look up to.
Yeah.
Which is super inspiring to be around, and you know, everyone is literally just down the road, so it's crazy that
that's so true.
You can just like, hey, can I have a coffee with you? And now you're like at their gig helping them.
Yeah.
And you know, you're learning from them. It's crazy that we have that opportunity here.
There's never a sense of someone wanting to speak to you for just the networking purpose.
Yeah. And I think that's what's so cool about Melbourne. It's never just about the networking or like just trying to get up a ladder. And I think that those that do have that intention are very fast caught out and maybe not rejected, but people become cautious of them.
Yeah.
And when we're in a scene in a place like Melbourne that's so tight knit, word's going to get around fast if you're being a dog. Yeah.
Well, I think everyone knows that they're like how simple it is to achieve a simple goal.
Yeah.
That's what it's really about.
Exactly.
There's no need to complicate things. You just got to do the thing. Is there a area of art that you haven't explored yet but you hope to get into?
Ooh. I don't even know. Like, I would love to, I guess, like fashion and that a little bit more. I don't know, like.
I'm feeling you'd say that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely keen to explore that more. I think it kind of ties into what I already do. Like, what an artist wears on stage is a big thing about their brand now, and even from my end, like, how does light interact with a garment? how does a brand, as a fashion brand, interact with like the culture and a community. I think all those sort of things play in my head a lot these days. So, yeah.
So you act as a fashion designer?
Maybe not designer, but definitely like some sort of,
Wardrobe selector.
yeah, just like from like an artistic end, not so much as a brand. Just like, how does what you wear influence those around you from like a conceptual point of view, where it's like, oh, I'm wearing like Gucci, now what do people think about me? Or like, I'm wearing something from Savers, like what's the connotations around those, the things we wear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like loud statements.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I think, especially in Melbourne, everyone's very extra. Whether that's like they're just wearing all black or it's like full colour kit. It's like everyone's doing their own thing and everyone makes loud statements in some way or another. And I think that's to be appreciated, that everyone respects that. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, do you have what do the people need to know today and tomorrow and the day after that?
In terms of the world news,
If you're a preacher, man, what do the people need to know?
I don't know. I think that we just gotta love each other more. It's like, if we all just respect each other and we're actually working hard on our own craft and not just chasing like the next party, it's like you'll do what you're actually passionate about, and whether that passion comes when you're 30 years old or you're like 17 or like you're 8, just work at it. And
But work 24/6.
yeah,
You do.
I think that day off is key. It's like you have to let yourself be bored. I know that's something I'm trying to get into the habit of, like have those bored moments, because that's when your brain fully lets you have those ideas.
Yeah.
So
It's a funny feeling when your brain feels stockpiled.
yeah,
It's just, yeah,
it's
like that.
it's scary.
Yeah.
And when there's like an endless amount of tasks to get done, it's probably not healthy
No.
living in that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a cheers. Cheers for being on the coming down for my therapy session.
Thanks, man. I'm glad we got to talk it through.
Yeah, we got to talk it through, and we'll talk it through online nonetheless.
Yeah.
Normally, therapy sessions shouldn't be live streamed, but
No,
this one it's okay.
it's pretty confidential, man.
So we're just going to tie this up with a wave from Isaiah. Wave to the camera. Going to zoom in on you.
Catch yo.
Yeah, keep them waving. Man.
Catch yo.
Yeah.
56K.